Hi, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to take a look at my first knife from Real Steel. Real Steel. This is the H6-S1. It's a little bit smaller than the basic H6 Blue Sheep. That doesn't mean the scales are blue. They're just calling it Blue Sheep for some reason. I think that's the right name. I'll look it up. We'll see. You can go to realsteelknives.com and buy directly from Real Steel. You can pay with credit card or PayPal. Their prices are just a little bit more than most other places. I got mine from eBay. I paid the same price as it was at Real Steel, but it was from an American reseller so that I could get it quickly. I really wanted to get my hands on the Real Steel fast. So I paid basically full price and I got it in less than a week. You can also get it from other places online like Knife Center, Blade HQ. That's usually going to run you around $48 and other places online. So come on down to the tabletop with me and we'll take a nice close look at this thing. Okay, I like this knife. It's got a solid detent, so when I do flip it out like that, by the time there's enough force to let it go, it just flies. So you've got the Real Steel logo with the registered trademark circled right in there on the blade. Full flat grind, a nice swedge over here, drop point, huge belly, and a little bit of flat area back here. Sharpness choil, some nice jimping that works well, huge thumb studs, and made from a pretty nice steel. This is Sandvik 14C28N, which is verified right there. And there's their name, H6-S1 Lanyard design. That's the designer who also works with a lot of Sanran Mew stuff. Full frame lock, steel on one side, a locking mechanism here to stop your knife from unlocking while it's open. It works good. I'm glad that they didn't make this an accent color at all. Some of the pictures for these knives show that the thumb stud and this locking disc have the same accent color as the G10 on the other side. I'm glad it doesn't, but it is just what it is, I guess. The blade is, the cutting edge is about 3.4 inches long. That's 8.6 centimeters. This Sandvik steel, they've hardened it to, they say, somewhere between 58 and 60 HRC. It starts off 3 millimeters thick and just starts to narrow once it gets close to the tip. That's 0.11 inches. The overall length of the whole thing is 7 3/4 inches. That's almost 20 centimeters, a little bit less. The G10 that's on here is the only thing that's on this side. There's no stainless liner or anything on this side. G10's pretty strong on its own, and they knew it, and that's all they went with. The other side's stainless steel with the frame lock. I really like this just simple texture that they've left on the G10, and the pivot is nice. They've used a full flat pivot end here. If you run your finger on it, it's slightly higher at the very center of that circle, and so it is a type of a cone, but it's a very, very shallow cone. And on the other side, you've got a nice disc with the torque screw head on the other end. So it looks nice and sharp and minimalist. I really like this pivot. It's got brass washers on there, and it just flies out. And once it's out, it's rock solid up and down, no loose movement. No freedom going any which way. They did a really good job with this. The other side has been skeletonized a little bit. They milled out a little bit back in here, right along where I'm running my finger. It's quite thin. So they didn't skeletonize all the way through, but they got it to lose some weight in there. And that helped it come down to less than 4 ounces. It's like 3.8 ounces. That's 108 grams, something like that. And that makes this knife really fun to EDC. It's a really good size and weight. The finishing on it is really nice. I like the lanyard hole is a cylinder, so it's solid metal all the way through. And then yet back here they put the same treatment on it as they did on the pillars for the open pillar construction. So that looks really sharp. I really like that. And the clip is excellent on this side. Since it's on the side that doesn't have the G10, it's really tight, but since it's flat steel, it slides into the pocket nice, and the pocket has the clip has nice good hold on the pocket. I didn't notice any movement or freedom coming loose at all. Fairly deep carry. You've got 1/4 of an inch sticking out up there. So if you look at it this way, so you can see there's just that little bit sticking out, and what's sticking out is this sand-washed stainless steel. I would have liked if they would have done these screws, the pivot and these other screws, if they would all be, what's the word I'm looking for? If they were made flat to the surface of the metal that they're connecting to. I don't know why my brain's just not figuring out what that word is called again. Anyhow, they're bumps right now. I wish they were just like this pivot is right here. If they used that same treatment on all of the screws there, that would have been nice. Even the screw on this lock, if they would have kept it down a little bit, that would have been nice. So there's always room for some subtle improvements, but it's done well. Look at that. It's perfectly centered. I couldn't ask for it to be better. It looks like it's a little bit off because the G10, looking at the stainless steel, but when I measured, it's smack dab in the middle. Really nice knife. The lock works really well, although practically in real life experience use, I mean, I'm not going to use that feature. People who want that feature have it there, so that's good. And people that don't, you can just leave it off, and then it still functions as a stop, so you can't hyperextend the frame lock too far out. All right. So when the knife's out, it's very light and easy. There's a nice, the detent on it is quite strong. You can't shake it to make the blade come out. At least I can't. Unlike some other knives, I already mentioned how that detent is nice and strong. I'll show you how it sucks it in. Just at the end there. See, it's just like a little over 1/8 of an inch that it moved. But now that it's in there nice and tight. I really like this knife. I really like the full flat stone wash. It came very sharp from the factory. Sharper than most lower cost knives that I've been getting, like the Gonzos or the Sanren Muse. This came very sharp, and it's stayed very sharp for me so far. I have stropped it, but I've not had to sharpen it at all. Let's see if there's any other details that I didn't mention. Oh yes, I like this little jimping that they did on the frame lock there. It's very comfortable. I think they could have done it without any jimping, but the jimping that they did was done well. I do think that these thumb posts look a little bit off because of their size. I think they're a little bit bigger than they need to be. I think it would suit the knife better if they were just slightly smaller than they are. and small things like their logo right there. If they would have made it so that when it was closed, the entire logo would be visible, because all they would have had to do is move it up, like a 1/16 of an inch, instead of having half of it visible. Sander and Mew's only been, Real Steel has only been in the market making knives for a couple of years yet, so I'm sure these little things, these nice finesse touches that are not bad at all right now, will only get better. I recommend this knife. This is a good knife. It's a good EDC to carry around. It looks nice. It doesn't look threatening at all. You can get it in different colors, either more playful colors, or you can have it looking a little more tactical. Real Steel has different letters to designate the lines. This is an H6, so it's from the H line, which is their hunting line, which is why it's got that really nice huge belly in there, so you could use this knife for skinning if you needed to, and for light butchering. It's not going to deal with bones particularly well, but well, it might. Probably not in my hands though. And then they've got the S line, which is their special line, T for tactical line, and I'll list the other lines down in the description below when I produce this video. So what do you think of this thing? I'd really like to hear your comments. If you like this video, please share it, and consider subscribing to this network. We'd really like to have you as one of our subscribers. We've got a Facebook page. The link is in the details below. I can't wait till my next Real Steel knife comes along. I've ordered one of their S line. I've ordered their premier knife that they have right now, their S5-71. And when it comes, I think I'm going to be thrilled. It'll be my first titanium knife with actual titanium scales and everything. Body. I'm looking forward to it. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb.